Hello everybody and welcome back to another video on the artist philosophy and how you can improve the clarity and creativity of your work. Today we're going to talk about 5 habits to supercharge your art as an artist. So the first habit you want to develop is prototyping. Prototyping is when you create as many ideas as you can and you select among those ideas. So for example, if I'm making a song in Sunvox, what I often do is I'll play a melody, and then I'll play that melody with a slight variation. And I'll do that over and over, looking for when something really catches my own interest. I don't just go with the first idea that comes to my head. I wait for something to stand out to me and to hook me in. And once I have something that hooks me in, then I don't have to slug through it. The art is sort of pulling forward inspiration and insight. And prototyping does this. When you prototype something, you want to make and generate lots of different variations. And all these variations are going to compete with each other for your attention. A lot of people make the mistake of just going with their first prototype or their second prototype and trying to work on it to make it good. No, that's not what you want to do. What you want to do is you want to prototype and prototype maybe for a couple weeks until something really lingers in your mind, until something proves to you, until the creative idea proves to you that it can live on in your own mind. You can't know whether that creative idea is going to hook other people in and live on in their minds. The idea is there's this idea, actually an evolutionary idea by Richard Dawkins in his book The Selfish Gene. He actually termed the term meme. A lot of people don't know where meme came from. The word meme came from Richard Dawkins as a way of explaining sort of cultural genes. Because genes, right, what they do is they pretty much use us meat vehicles as a way to pass themselves on and mutate and to adapt themselves to become fitted to what's effective and what's real. Memes are the cultural version of genes. Memes are things that pass themselves on from different minds, network around. Memes are only concerned for their own survival, and so they will mutate and try to fit themselves to the environment in such a way that they can become the most successful. And essentially what you're doing when you're prototyping is you want to find these memes as quickly as possible. And you need to know whether the meme, right, is going to survive and propagate itself inside your own mind before you can have any assurance that it's possible that that meme can be passed on, survive, and propagate in the minds of other people. When a piece of art becomes a cultural phenomenon, what's actually happening is it's becoming a cultural meme. And that meme, like we see this, for example, in Wordle right now, that little word game that's passing on. When something becomes fitted to our minds in such a way that it's able to propagate itself from person to person, it has a high level of spreadability from mind to mind, that's when something can really blow up. And when you're prototyping and you want to have art that is successful in that way, that is the kind of thing that you're trying to gauge for. You're trying to make as many mutations on something as you can, and then you're seeing what out of the set of mutations you've created is memeable, is memorable, right? What if that is going to be propagating in your own mind? You show it to other people. Are they still thinking about it? Does that idea live on in their own mind? Do they talk about it the day after? These are good questions to ask. This leads perfectly into the second habit that we want to have as an artist, which is you want to, after you've prototyped and you've assessed the fitness of your creative idea, you've seen how well it catches your own interest, how well it hooks you in. What you're going to do is you're going to show that in its nascent form to somebody you trust. Somebody you trust that is in some way representative, hopefully, of the target audience. So you don't want to just show it to anybody. You don't want to just show it to your mom. I really like chiptune, but if I make a chiptune song and show it to my mom, she's going to give me the common mom response of like, oh yeah, you're doing so well, son, right? But chiptune isn't really her genre. You need to find somebody that you trust that your art is made for. And a good example of this for me is when I'm making video game soundtracks, I always send my music to my brother Benjamin. Why? Because Benjamin is a game designer, and so he has an intuitive sense of how video game soundtracks are supposed to sound. And when I receive feedback from him, I can trust that an intuition as a game designer is going to come through and show me where I can improve, show me what I should remove or add. The other aspect of showing your work early is you don't want to be scared about the flaws, because what you're doing is you've already prototyped, and all you're doing is you're assessing the fitness of this idea with somebody else. And you're trying to get feedback, but you're also trying to see, is this idea worth it? Because this is another screening process. You don't want to pursue something that isn't going to pay back. And so you're showing it to somebody you trust, and if they're really excited about it, and they talk about it, and they're like, I've been listening to this song over and over, that's when you know that you need to double down on that idea and start to really invest a lot of effort into it. So then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take that draft and you're going to polish it. So this is the third habit, right? Polishing your idea. You're going to edit it with rigor. So you're going to be skimming through the work, looking for sharp corners, and you want to sand them off. But make sure not to edit the magic out of your work. Don't let the inner critic become too critical and edit out the things that your inner child finds joy in. I think that Austin Kleon in his book Still Like an Artist said this, that your failed attempts to mimic other great works of the past is part of what makes your art unique. So your failure to replicate or to make something exactly the way that you envisioned it, sometimes incidentally, that is actually a feature of your art. And so you don't want to edit out those hidden features that don't necessarily stick out to you because you're not aware of them, right? Because art is a very intuitive and unconscious thing. And if you let your ego, which is not intuitive or unconscious, start to play with things that it doesn't understand, then it's liable to mess things up. So don't over edit, but make sure to edit with rigor, to look at things, to add details, to make the art very cohesive and reflective of itself, sort of like a fractal. And that is one of the best ways that you can polish your idea. The third habit, polish your draft, and editing with rigor is one of the best ways that you can make your idea presentable and finishable. All right, now we're going to talk about the fifth habit. This one's a little bit different in nature, but you want to do daily work. So buy a calendar, cross off each day you create something, no matter how small. Try not to go more than one day without crossing it off. Alternatively, you can use a habit tracking app, or you can do what I do. I bought this habit journal by James Clear, where I track all my different habits like this. It's a very effective way. I found this habit journal by James Clear to be one of the best habit tracking methods ever. So that's my habit tracker. Make sure to either get a calendar, a habit tracker, some way of disciplining yourself so that you work on it consistently every single day. And the reason why you're going to do this is partly because consistent work every single day, I learned as a pianist, is one of the best ways to improve your skill. And the more skillful you are at your craft, the more able you are to be able to create the things that you envision in your own mind. If you're not very skillful, but you have good ideas, the barrier is your skill. And that daily work is going to rapidly improve your skill so that you can translate those ideas from your head into the physical medium. The fifth habit is exercise before you create. Now this is kind of a weird one. You might not have expected this one, but I've been going on a walk before I do anything now creatively every morning. And this walk is really critical to my creative ability. I'm going to actually try to justify this from first principles. So your brain, let's say that your brain doesn't want to expend any energy if it doesn't have to. And so what your brain is going to do is it's going to have an inbuilt judge of whether or not it's time to spend more energy or less energy. And the brain is going to use heuristics to try to gauge how much cognitive effort is needed. And so one of those heuristics is your level of physical activity. Why? Well, if you think about it, probably in the history of our evolution, if we were running, walking, or moving at a rapid pace, it meant several things. First of all, Maybe we're running from something or to something. If we're running from something, then we're going to need more cognitive effort to be aware of a potential danger. If we're running to something, then we need more cognitive effort to be aware of any potential opportunities. The other thing it may mean is that we could be moving outside of explored territory. And if we're moving outside of explored territory, any areas that we're unfamiliar with, then we're going to really need more cognitive effort so that we can look out for any traps or dangers or any potential opportunities. I believe, and this has been my own experience, that the brain uses this heuristic of physical activity, of movement, as a way to gauge how much it should overclock its performance in any given moment. And so, with a little bit of biohacking, you can use this to your advantage as a creative. And I do this, which is I go on a walk before I work, because I like to say that creativity is movement. When we're moving, it gets our brain moving, and when our brain is moving, we can be more playful, more experimental, and you'll see that those ideas, with that sort of added benefit of your overclocked brain, will sort of start to flood in after you've exercised, or you've gone on a walk, or you've gone on a run. It's one of those habits that is strange, but definitely works as an artist, where you get your body moving, it gets your brain moving, and when your brain is moving, you're a lot more effective as a creative person, and you can come up with a lot more ideas, insights, faster than you usually would if you just got out of your bed and went straight to your computer or to your whatever you do as an artist and just started work right away. Make sure to exercise before you create. So I may have got the numbers a little bit jumbled up, but those are 5 habits as a creative to supercharge your art. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to give me a like, a comment down below, and subscribe and hit the bell so that you don't miss any future videos. I try to release a video every single week. Subscribe to my Substack if you're interested in reading all these videos in blog format and receiving a weekly newsletter of the artist philosophy. In some of my previous videos, I mentioned that I was working on a creativity coaching program. I'm still working on this program. I plan on creating a website so that you all can go sign up for it if that's something you're interested in. Creativity coaching is a one-on-one session where I can sort of interview you, figure out what kind of things are blocking your creativity, and we can develop a plan and goals for you to overcome those creative blocks and reach your highest potential as an artist. So be sure to look out for the announcement video on that. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.